Using AI to turn Linda Raschke's MACD strategy into an automated trading strategy with TradersPost. We're here for it today on Blueprint. Welcome to Blueprint for June 12th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Hartman, your friendly neighborhood strategy coder, alongside Peter Hartman, part of the TradersPost marketing team. Today, we'll be continuing our efforts to automate everything using AI vibe coding, tackling a TradingLab video focused on Linda Raschke, who's like this trader extraordinaire. And by the end, we should have a strategy up and running on TradingView and automated with the TradersPost software, which is in fact, the best automated trading platform in the known universe. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, Peter.
It's technically true.
Yeah, objectively true and subjectively true, and in all the different multiverses. But a quick reminder that these scripts and walkthroughs and tutorials are just for educational purposes only, and we're only showcasing what can be done with automation and AI and all the rest of it. We want you guys to become proficient traders, that you're able to take your ideas from conceptualization to actual reality using our platform. And to that, it's useful to showcase, to see what can be done or can't be done simply or easily, as we've seen on some other Blueprint episodes. We've seen that sometimes things are, let's call it, problematic.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, especially since now, like, it's all it's all about AI for me. That's what my life is about. That's what it seems to be in. I look at my cursor bill.
Yeah, same here.
I used to look at it per month, then per week, now per day, and per hour, because I keep getting a message that I'm going over my limit.
Oh my
and it wants
God.
me to keep increasing my limit, which is fine. If what I was doing I didn't think was worthwhile, I wouldn't do it. But
expensive.
Well, the idea was that it costs less than hiring somebody to do it themselves,
right?
To do it for you, and the back and forth you have to go with it, and blah blah blah. Now, it's sort of like when Uber really cornered the market and said, "Hey, we can jack your prices up now."
Yeah, that's right.
I know we should charge you $2 for a taxi trip. We're going to go back up to about 5% less than regular taxis, and sometimes twice more. If you press that, where you're used to pressing that button, you want to see the taxi cab come. You don't want to call the taxi companies. We're going to charge you twice more sometimes.
But the models are getting cheaper.
The models are getting cheaper. The models are getting cheaper. Peter, I want my bank account to stop bleeding money.
It's gonna It's gonna happen. Look, here's what happens. The over time, they're able to reduce the cost. There's a new model that comes out, which is ridiculously more expensive, and then the other one goes down. Then you have a Sophie's choice. Do I use the model that I've always been using that's now cheaper, or do I use the way better model now that's way more expensive? That's the Claude 4 situation I'm in right now.
Yeah. So you have to use, frankly, I end up in a situation where I have to use the best one, because every time I run into a roadblock on the cheaper models and have to spend 3 or 4 times longer doing it, I might as well have use the best model to begin with. Like today I was messaging you, I had this problem with this component that I wanted to integrate, because in your programming life you think to yourself, don't reinvent the wheel. Let me just go get a GitHub library, some sort of component, some sort of tool that already does what I need it to do, put it integrated in my project. And if I have any problem integrating it, hey, let me use AI in order to figure out how to integrate it, or ask somebody or whatever. That's been my normal MO. So I was banging my head for like 2 hours against this thing, trying to integrate a tool. And then I realized, it's outdated for my framework. So then I was like, okay, well, let me try to upgrade it to match the dependencies that I have.
Another 2 hours.
No. That's what was in the 2-hour thing. And I was like, and it's just going back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. And then I was like, wait a second. I'm in AI world. I go, can you remake this from scratch as if you're doing it like from the beginning? This is how I sort of want it to look like. This is how I want it to feel like. These are the goals that I have. Go ahead, press a button, get a cup of coffee, come back 5 minutes later. It's done. Not only is it done, it's better than the original one I was copying.
It's
I go,
so
"What?"
hard. I keep having these words in my head every time I'm using cursor. Sunk cost fallacy.
Right.
And there's just something about it where you're like, it can't be easier for me to start over. It can't be easier for me to start over. I spent 3 days on this. You're like, just scrap it and start over. And then you're like, oh, 20 minutes later, it's done. You're like, oh, I got to get it in my head to just start over because AI makes
The other
things
day,
faster.
I made a mistake because I'm not a software engineer or anything like that. I made a mistake, and I not only did I mess up my entire project, I didn't do the right backups, and I had given permission to my AI to do something that I didn't realize where it was overriding all the commits I had made on GitHub. So it was like the worst of all possible situations. Not only did I not back up and destroy what I had locally, I also had the AI destroy the
Oh
remote
my
version.
God.
So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Well, what I had was a screenshot, a series of screenshots that had taken over my period of coding. And I said, hey, recreate this project from the screenshots. It did it in 20 minutes. And it was back up and running better than it
good.
was before. I was like, this is amazing. Okay, Peter, the show is not just about going over, AI woes and tribulations. We want to use it in order to turn everything that we see on YouTube and on Twitter into an automated strategy. We want to automate the world, Peter. Automate the world. That's what we want. And I figured we start today with, we continue today with Linda Raschke. Now, you don't know who Linda Raschke is. Maybe a lot of people don't know who Linda Raschke is, but some other people do. She's like one of
Linda?
these.
I know Linda.
Very funny. That's very funny. No, that's cute. That's cute, Peter. She is amongst retail traders. She's like what you would want them to be, like Rebecca Trades, like Tyler Goodell. Successful, and then has been around for years, has developed her own techniques, and then people sort of referred to her for their own trading. So I figured I saw a video on TradingLab, the TradingLab YouTube channel, a nice channel for all kinds of different tools and ideas. And they had this video of basically taking her MACD strategy and sort of like figuring out what the different components were, and then like trading it. So I was like, hey, let's automate that. So let's take a look at the video, and then when we're done, we'll jump into our AI process or rip the thing to shreds with AI and see if we can one-shot it, or essentially one-shot it in order to create a strategy. And if we can't, that's fine. We'll go piecemeal until we can get it done. But this is what the world is, folks. Our job is to feed things into the AI and then get things out of it. And we're going to continue with that. All right, let's start with this video.
This is Linda. An absolute legend of trading. She's a professional trader who has worked for several hedge funds and even started her own hedge fund in 2002. And did I mention she made all of her millions using one specific strategy?
I underestimated you.
Yeah, well, maybe next time you will estimate me.
Well, I was interested in little Linda, and I wanted to find how she became so successful with her trading. So I did.
Can you make me videos like this, Peter, in the future?
I hate. Sorry. This is good. This is
what I
good
usually
video.
do. And did some digging. I scavenged the internet for days trying to find the exact strategy she uses to make her millions. And let's just say, after hours of digging, I finally found it. She has a strategy called the anti-setup, and Linda uses the MACD as her main component for her trades. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Oh, here we go again. Another MACD video.
But Linda uses it in a way I've never seen it used ever before. See, Linda changed the default settings of it. She even took out the histogram completely. And she follows a bizarre rule set that completely changes the way you will look at the MACD. Forever. And I'm about to share it all with you right now. Let's get straight to it. So Linda calls this strategy the anti-setup, meaning she's trying to find the reversal point of a trend at a major pullback point and profiting from the massive move after the pullback. Let me paint a broad picture of what we're looking for. Linda would look for a downwards move that's starting to correct like this. Once it starts to correct, it would do a move like this, where price would start heading in the opposite direction, creating a pullback. Once she found this setup, she would follow her specific rule set in order to find perfect entries for the specific play, where she would profit from this beautiful correction. And how she finds the specific move is purely with the MACD. So let's add it to our chart. To do this, go to TradingView.
By the way, I love strategies like this where it's just like 1 or 2 indicators, because I like when people are focused on the idea that it's like surfing, or like, I mean, I say it's like surfing. I've never surfed a day in my life, but it's what I imagine surfing is like, where once you get a sense of what the fluid dynamics are, well, then you can catch a certain type of thing. You can get a sense of this wave is going to be big or small, right? You can get some feeling of it. And I like when there are traders who are like, I just trade this one particular type of thing.
Yeah.
When the price comes over here, bounces over here, that's all I trade. I'm not trying to look for some big fish. I'm not trying to look for macro trades or fundamental analysis. I'm not looking through 13F filings or chasing Nancy Pelosi. I'm just looking for when it bounces over here to go over there, and I'm just getting that again and again and again and again. I can't do that myself. My ego won't allow it.
All right.
There's no bragging to anybody that I took 1,000 trades where I scalped some money again and again. That's not fun. I need to be like, no, I paid attention to Jerome Powell, and I interpreted the press releases from Fed chairman. I took a look at the CPI reports and how that matched with the correlation between the dollar and gold. And I took a trade that I held for 2.5 years and made 6 figures.
This is why we've never had a genius, high IQ, science-minded president. Like, that doesn't happen. Like, they're not the CEOs of companies. They're like, it's like they're so good, but they can't actually accomplish the basic things of life. Poor people.
Can't do it.
Poor geniuses. Then there are people like me who are not geniuses, still can't reach any heights.
Right. So it's more like a divine providence. You're sort of touched by some sort of outside power, because it has nothing to do with hard work or good work, or it's all really like luck. And if you had any money in the market at the time, there are people who made money on GameStop right now who are getting their shoulders massaged by beautiful ladies on the beach somewhere, and they made 3 trades.
That's
people
what
like
I'm aiming
me
for.
who have to sit here and do this, whatever it is we're doing here. So it has nothing to do with merit, has everything to do with luck. Let's get back to it.
If you don't yet have it, I'll leave a link in my description. Go to the indicators tab and type in MACD. Click this one right here. Now, when you first add the indicator to your chart, the settings of it will be these default settings. While doing my spying on Linda, I noticed she completely changed these numbers to best suit her strategy. So let's do the same. Go to the settings of the MACD. You're gonna change the fast length to 3, the slow length to 10, and the MACD length to 16. And then you're gonna wanna uncheck the histogram. You also wanna make sure the average type is set to simple. I'm also gonna—
Whoa. Did you catch all that, Peter? I gotta write all that down. Oh my God. Jesus.
change the colors of the lines for simplicity's sake. I'm gonna make the MACD line red and the signal line yellow. Our indicator is now set up and it's looking good. Now, this strategy will work for all markets and all time frames. So let's pick a random stock.
Oh my God.
Okay, AMD it is. We'll use the 1 hour time frame for this example. So for these examples, we'll be looking for long trades. Now, like I was saying before, Linda uses the MACD in a way I've never seen used before. And she follows a very, very specific set of rules to find these setups. But before we go over that, let me show you this site. You're not wasting % signing up. They will make the deposit MACD line to make a new high. So here on this chart,
I like the channel and all, but I'm not going to be showing other people's ads on our YouTube channel. Sorry. Yeah, it's going to TradingLab the video itself to go check it out.
MACD's previous high was right here. So in order for us to even consider this trade, the MACD line, the red line, must go above this level right here, just like this. That is step 1 complete. Step 2, we want the signal line, the yellow line, to move in the direction we are looking to trade. So in this example, we are looking for a long trade, so we want the signal line to be moving upwards just like it is here. That is step 2 complete. Step 3 is we want the MACD line to revert back to the signal line, and we want them both to be moving in the opposite direction. Since we are looking for pullback trades, this discrepancy in the lines is showing signs that the market is hesitant from this downwards move. Or in other words, there's a lot of buying power coming in, which is exactly what we're looking for when trying to find pullback trades like this one. So here, when the market is doing this pullback, both the MACD line and the signal line cross and start to head in different directions, which gives us the signal to enter the trade. Now, while doing my research, Linda didn't say how she uses her stop loss and take profits, so I had to do a little of my own testing. What I found is that if you place your stop loss right below the low of the move and your take profit at the previous high, it works a great percentage of the time. And just as you see here, it worked out beautifully. Here's another long example on Microsoft.
Great. We got the idea. Thank you very much. You told us about the entries and the exits. Now it's time for us to do what we need to do. We need to rip this carcass to pieces using AI and turn this into a strategy. Now, do you remember the rules that we follow, the steps that we follow in order to do this?
You're talking about cursor? You're talking about
Yeah, the whole thing. So what I do is that I go and grab the YouTube video, the URL, and then I head over to this free YouTube transcript generator from Tactic. I will then grab the entire script. The reason I come here is that I am able to grab not only the transcript, but also the timestamps from the transcript. There are other ways of doing this. This is super easy and free. And if this is available, sometimes this doesn't work. If this doesn't work, you can just rip it in a different way. But if it works, it's super useful. Then we can go ahead and into cursor, and we're going to try to plan out how we actually want to make this indicator. So let me grab this here. Let's go to cursor. Cursor open. I do like to first use these instructions to plan and execute these trades. 1 second. This comes from the OX Designer. I keep forgetting to mention this. On x.com, if you go to OX Designer, I think he's the one.
Yeah. Yes.
Did he pin it? Yeah, he has this pin post at the top that has these instructions that he uses for his cursor. So essentially, I'm going to go into my cursor settings.
They're great. Like, honestly, when I don't use them, everything gets so much harder in cursor. It might start off okay, but then it gets ugly.
Yeah. So I'm going to create this project rule. I'm going to call it instructions. I paste the rules in here, switch this to always, so it's always sent with my requests, and essentially gives me two agent modes, a planning mode and an executor mode. Super useful because the AI always sounds like it knows what it's doing, but you have to remember it's a person and it lies to you all the time. And so if you have it plan out what it's going to do first, then when it executes, it goes, okay, well, it plans it out. You can see what it's actually planning. You can see if it's fudging anything, refine the plan, and then have the executor come in and then just complete the steps. It's not the executor is not figuring out as it's going along, not knowing what the end goal is. The rules also provide a mechanism for cursor to have a little bit of a short-term memory. The scratch pad that gets created where it plans out all the details, all the milestones, tasks, subtasks, lessons it learns along the way, where it is at the moment. It provides a nice task management tool for Cursor. It's not as robust as something like Taskmaster AI, which really is a larger system, and there's all kinds of different memory systems available for or methodologies available for Cursor. I just really like this one.
It's kind of like, have you ever had the experience where you ask someone for directions? They tell you, oh yeah, it's simple. You go left, right, and here you turn left to go down under the overpass. And then you hear it and you're like, oh yeah, I got it. And then you start driving, you take one turn, you're like, wait, hang on. That's like what the AI is like. The AI is like, oh, I got this. And then it gets like 3 turns down and suddenly it's not remembering, but it won't. It's like the man who won't stop and admit he's wrong. Honey, can you just ask for directions again? I'm not going to be stopping yet again. And so if you give it the plan, it plans things out, and then when it keeps checking the plan in order to continue forward, you will save a whole thank you, Tom, for sharing this with us, because it's been a huge problem. I was actually using Cursor AI before, and I abandoned it because I was just working on something small. Then I told you about it. You're like, no, put it back in, and then instantly it started working.
Super useful. All right, so we have our instructions here. Since we set to always, we don't need to see this anymore. Oh, one thing for the instructions, you could find that if you find for your own process that you want to, let's say you've interacted with the AI several times, you're like, there's really a rule I want this to follow. Actually, I should have mentioned this. Before, I would just say update the instructions in order to remember this. But now I just remembered Cursor 1.0 just came out. And if you activate the memories, manage memories, you can tell Cursor, hey, can you remember this? And I'll remember that for the project from now on. So I'll just show you over here. If you want to activate memories, you have to go under rules and turn generate memories on. If this option is grayed out, it's because in your general, your privacy mode is enabled. You have to disable privacy in order to have access to it.
All right.
So now that those settings are there, let's go ahead and plan out this indicator. So I'm gonna use Claude 4 Sonnet Max. I no longer use anything else. I use everything in max mode. I never want to think to myself that the reason I'm having a problem is because I'm not paying enough money.
Oh no, but
I'm just gonna pay the money.
Don't use max mode. It's totally overkill if you're. It's totally overkill if you.
No,
don't have
it won't overkill because if the project's not large enough, it won't use all the tokens.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here is I would like. Let me just increase the font size here. Yeah. Make the following indicator in Pine Script 6. Please plan out the components of the strategy.
Does it matter that your instructions are not included in the context?
My instructions are, well, they will be included within the context automatically. If you're worried about it, you can always mention it. You could also mention it here, but the documentation says that you don't have to do this.
Okay.
So I actually haven't been doing that.
Good to know.
Please plan out the components of the strategy. I'll review them. Make sure we're on the same page. Once done, we'll plan out more in detail how the script should be built. All right, let's try that. I'm going to give it the transcript.
Did you move the chat box to the top of the screen?
Move the chat box? Well, no, because it's the first one, so it's at the top.
Oh. Mine isn't like that at all.
The first one will be at the top. After that, it'll be at the bottom.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're experiencing high demand. No. Try again.
I hope that's not connected to Cloudflare.
God dang it. Fine. Let's switch to Gemini Pro. Oh, man. This is not going to be as good. Every day I'm processing. Every day I'm processing. What?
We've hit a rate limit with Gemini.
Is it a problem because there's like a Cloudflare? Is OpenAI
I'm
now?
wondering if Cloudflare is affecting.
After the whole Heroku thing, now we're gonna do this. Ah, it is down. There are problems.
But you were using Gemini.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it's because I'm passing through here. Let's try auto. I don't want to do that. Fine. Claude 5 Sonnet. Let's try that one. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, it's going to help plan out. I'll help plan out this MACD-based trading strategy in PineScript v6. Let me take on the planner role to break this down and document it in our Scratchpad. See, it's saying it's planner mode, even though we didn't include instructions because it's included automatically in the response.
Hey, do you have access to O3 Pro in this?
Yes.
I guess let's hoping that I won't work anyway.
O3 Pro. What am I trying to give my firstborn child? It's okay. I'm not.
Well, you want
to max out my daily budget like that.
You want a Cloud 4? You want a Cloud 4, right? So that's on the level of Cloud 4.
But the price for O3 Pro, isn't it like way higher?
I don't know what the price is.
All right, so let's see what it's defining here. Here's our Scratchpad. Linda's anti-setup MACD strategy implementation. So it's a MACD modified with the parameters fast, slow, signal length, like we saw in the video. Great. Histogram disabled. Excellent. Long trades. MACD line must make a new high above previous high. Correct. Signal line must be moving upwards. Yes. MACD line must revert to signal line. Both lines must then move in opposite directions. Say opposite for the short trade. Stop loss long trades below recent low of the move, above recent high of the move. Take profit at previous high. High level task breakdown. Create. Okay, so it's breaking down the plan here. Let's just step through it. Initial setup. So it's set up the script, MACD implementation, signal detection, entry exit logic, strategy plotting. All right, plot visuals for entry points. Okay, this looks okay-ish. Let us move forward with this. So I want to actually give it the MACD code for the default MACD code. So let's just go ahead and grab the MACD in TradingView.
When you say give it, you mean put it in cursor?
Exactly. I'm just going to just grab the version 6 MACD code and just put in a cursor so it has it already. In fact, I'll actually just create our what do they call this? Anti-strategy.
Code might work now since service.
It's too late. It's too late. Okay. So I'm pasting in the MACD indicator. So I'm going to tell it here. I've added the MACD indicator from TradingView as a starting point. As Executor, please modify this file and start the development process. I'm going to give it this indicator. So I'm going to say anti-strategy, and let's move forward. You said that the... let's just not risk it.
Oh. You might want to if you want this to go well. I want to remind everybody that Blueprint happens every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are previous episodes. In case you haven't seen them, go ahead and check that out. Blueprint is where Tom does coding things. I don't even know. What's the elevator pitch for Blueprint? Your audio is muted. Can you hear me? Your audio is muted.
We had problems. It's blocking that model. Let's try O3 Mini. Let's see, Peter. It doesn't even have a max mode.
Mini.
Put it on max.
O3 Mini.
Oh, sorry. You said O3 Pro. Is that it?
Or just go O3, yeah.
I
don't know if it's there yet. I don't know if Chris had put it in yet.
Let's see. 03. No, it's not there. It's just a regular 03.
I see.
Boo. Maybe if I don't use max mode, maybe then it'll let me. Oh, God. So painful. That to me is like if my internet's down for the day. I go, come on.
100%.
Let's try 03. There are 4,000 people watching. That's amazing. Thank you, guys. It's so fun. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel so you get more of this. If you tell people 4,000 people are watching, they just behave as if that's the case.
Well,
and they go, 4,000. I better share this with my friends in order for them to come here and be part of the group. It's herd mentality, right?
If I'm watching a live stream, I prefer that there are not many people there, so I feel more special. You know, when I go some Twitch stream and there's 12 people there and I write something, they're like, "Hey, Peter." But if there's 5,000 and the chat's going by like this, then
no, I'm a troll. I can't troll if there's only one person or two people there. Sorry. Okay, so let's see what it decided to do. I have no idea with, what is it, 03 we decided to use here. That to me feels like hiring someone from New York instead of LA. I don't know.
I think they're both good. I thought you were going to say something way more politically incorrect than that.
I just backed it off.
All right.
I realized I'm not just talking to my brother. The world can see me. 4,000 people watching. I got to be careful. All right. So here it's, all right. It just rejiggered the MACD a little bit. All right. I've converted the script into a PyScript V6 strategy and implemented Linda's custom MACD 3. Okay. So change the settings to 3, 10, and 16. Simple SMA, so change the default. No histogram, so histogram will be deactivated, I'm assuming. It removed all the alert conditions, that's fine. And it changed the indicator to a strategy. All right, so let's just accept all. Let's just go ahead. As we're moving forward, we are going to create a working copy, save view. In TradingView, we're going to save this as the anti-strategy. Yeah, save the anti-strategy.
Why'd you call it anti-strategy again?
That's what the video called it, an anti-strategy, something like that. Anti-pullback, whatever, something like that. Let's just move forward. I'm going to just now replace
Can
this.
you make the text bigger? Sorry, can you make
it absolutely bigger? I'm going to replace this text with the code that we got from AI. There's a problem here. We can't use time frame gaps when it comes to strategy, so let's just remove that. Save it. Let me remove the existing MACD and add this one to the chart. Ooh, pretty intense. The reason I like doing this is that instead of like going on GitHub and having our version system over there, which we could have, we have our versioning history here so that we can always step through the different versions that AI gave us. This is probably going to mess up at some point. Let's see. So back here, all right. I have to remove time frame gap since that's no good. All right. Thanks. Next steps. AI is going to get a lot of praise from me, exclamation points, smiley faces. I'm preparing for the war. I'm preparing for the AI wars, and I want something to be inside of the system. I remember Tom being pretty nice to me. I'm going to put him inside of the cell he can lie down in.
It's going to be fine. It'll be okay.
I love this. I love looking at the thoughts. I'm analyzing the MACD indicators movements.
I don't even bother. I don't read anything in there. What I like to do is just wing it. I'm Marty McFly. That's who I am. Just wing it. You can be Doc all you want. So I just plug these two wires together. That's it. I don't want to understand how the flux capacitor works. I don't want all the details there. I just want the almanac.
Doc, are you telling me that this suck is nuclear? Marty! Stop. Okay, next step. Oh, it's still generating. I could peek in here to take a look what it's doing, but it's only one file, so no big deal. Let's take a look at the scratch pad. We can see that it checked off initial setup, MACD implementation, which means we're 2/6 of the way there. So exciting. Next up, so it implemented a new high-low detection for the MACD. That'll be interesting. That's pivot levels on the MACD. Let's see if we can actually figure that out. Add signal line direction detection, create the MACD signal line crossover detection, and add direction change detection after crossover. Implement the long and short entry conditions, stop loss, and take profit, and add visualizations to the chart. Let's see if it did a good job. All right, so it added new inputs for the look back length. So this is where the pivot detections are going to be considered. It's defaulting to 50. So the idea here is that we're looking for the highest or lowest MACD values within this number of bars. So that's there. That looks okay. It's detecting the MACD previous high. So it's using the TA.highest method in order to check for the highest value of MACD over 50. Same thing for low, 50 bars, I mean. If it's a new high, if the MACD value was higher than the previous high and lower than the previous low for the low. If the signal is above the previous signal, then that's considered a signal up or down. Okay, same thing for MACD. We're setting up our long, shorts, pivot high price, pivot low price. Excellent. And we have our long entry condition here. So if the setup long is there, which is when there's a new MACD high and the signal is up, and the crossover has occurred between the value and the signal, and MACD is down and signal is up, that's considered a long entry. Opposite for short, and then it's plotting the trades on the chart with plot shape, triangle up and down from when it occurs. So let's see how this works. Let's accept, head back over, paste. All right, so we're seeing here that the arrows are showing on the indicator itself in the lower pane. We want them to appear above. So let's just go ahead and, I got to move this around because I'm always going to make a mistake. I always have you on the right side. We want you to be force overlay true, tab, because we want you to appear on the main chart. Okay, we have longs and shorts happening here. Oh boy. First, let's see if the strategy is worthwhile. I always like doing that, Peter. I always like jumping into the strategy, see, hey, is it a green up and to the right? It's red, so I don't have to care. Because if it was green and super profitable and worked under multiple different scenarios, I'd end the stream right now.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. All right. All right, so let's see here. Our signal for, let's take a look at the long one. Okay, so we're seeing here what are the rules that we were following. I want to see these conditions on the chart. So first, we were looking at, what was the conditions? MACD line must make a new high above previous high. So here, the MACD line made a high, I assume, above the previous high. Here, signal line must be moving upward. Signal line must be moving upward. This is a signal line. It's moving upward. MACD line must revert to signal line. MACD line upward, revert to signal line. So that's this cross. And then both lines must move in opposite directions, but it seems to be, and then it went long. So let's just take a look here. I want more visualizations on the charts in order to see if the conditions are actually happening the way they need to happen. I, of course, could do this all manually without any problem whatsoever, but let's see if we can do it with AI. I'd like to get a clearer idea of when the conditions are met for the trades. Can you add labels and drawings on the chart to let me know? Let's do this step by step. So start with the MACD line must make a new high or low for shorts.
This is one of my pet peeves when I watch YouTube videos. People who mumble them to themselves when they're writing. Just write it out and then read it all. I like to get a clear idea of when the conditions are met for the trades. Can you add labels and drawings on the chart to let me know? Let's do this step by step. Start with the MACD line. Must make a new high or low for shorts. That's what you do. We're just reading it out as you go.
Okay, I'll take the criticism. I'll modify for the future. You check your tone. Alrighty here.
I was watching this YouTube video yesterday learning about some new AI tool, and the guy was doing this, and I was like,
That's
in order
so
for me to...
interesting. That's what you sounded like just now. That was like the attitude you had just now. Just letting you know. You're watching this YouTube video. Go tell the boring story. And he was mumbling to himself, I imagine.
Yeah, but I had to pay attention to his mumble because I needed to know what he was writing. I was like, this is an edited video. Why don't you just click, click, and there it is, and read it out? If I want to edit this video and make a clip from it, I got to kind of leave that part in. Like, come on, man.
All right, I want the AI to know that I'm using this force overlay attribute. Force overlay is an attribute for PineScript that was recently added, so it's not within the training data of the models. So I'm just gonna command click on the, or I think control click on Windows. I'm not sure why we would use a Windows computer, but whatever. In order to get the plot shape method, it has the force overlay details over here. So I'm gonna grab the link. Head over. I could just copy the text too, but I'm grab the link and give it to the AI. Make sure to include the force overlay equals true attribute. I just read that straight, Peter. I'm not going to continue reading afterwards.
He can be taught. Tell me what movie that's from in the comments down below, and you will win 10,000.
If anybody gets that, that'd be pretty cool. If anybody gets that, no, they could just look it up. I was going to say I'll make you a free PineScript, but
it can be taught. That's a hard one to look up.
What? You think so?
Yeah, just a lot of.
Let's see.
I don't know. Yeah, all that trivia stuff, all those trivia things people used to do online for comments and stuff, it's all gone because everybody's a genius now. They have a genius in their pocket.
Right. All right. I'm just I could have just add the force overlay true like we did before, but I don't want to have to continuously tell it to do it.
Right.
So I just didn't like that.
Right. I understand completely.
Okay, so what we're looking at here. Oh, I'm so stupid. That one shouldn't have been force overlay true. That's for the MACD. Actually,
Here we go. Go ahead and do it. It's your way.
I stopped.
It's your way.
Peter, if it makes you feel any better, when I'm sitting here alone working, I talk to myself out loud all the time.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
It's the only time I feel connected to another human being.
You're going to sit here in awkward silence? You should mumble to yourself.
That's very funny. That's what you're here for.
Yes, I'm here to remind everybody to like and subscribe to the channel. On this channel, there's a ton of stuff that happens every week. And a ton, that's a technical term. That means we have Blueprint on Thursday, After Hours, which is an aftermarket.
Actually, I might have made a mistake. The MACD plots we just made should actually be on the pane since they are about the MACD. So set force overlay to false. There, I did it. Did it work the way you wanted it to?
It's so rude. So rude. So rude.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying or to poo-poo what you were saying or to make you feel less than you are. I know how that can feel terrible. It's not working properly there. Okay, let's go back to true.
Classic. Classic, Tom. Is it because you're using 03?
No, I think it actually is plotting it on. Wait, why is MACD? Oh, it's plotted on the price. Let me see here. This shouldn't be the price. This should be. Sorry, what was your question? Because I was using what?
03.
No. I'm just misunderstanding. Here, it's actually plotting the shape using the MACD new high and low, but those are the prices. Oh no, this is not. I actually have to pass the value for MACD. So our MACD is, where are you? MACD val. Okay. I think I have to do it this way. If it's true, the MACD val, otherwise NA. I think this is it. You're still there. I'm just trying to see why these guys are appearing up here. Because this should just be the MACD value. MACD line. Yeah, MACD val. All right, plot shape. Series, the first parameter. Series of data to be plotted as shapes. Series is treated as a series of Boolean values for all locations, location values except location not absolute. Oh, I think that's what it is. Location absolute.
What is it? Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't know if anybody else does.
There we go. So now on the location absolute means that it's going to be, if I use above or below the bar, above and below bar is always considering the main chart. It's never looking at whatever indicator you're dealing with, no matter what you're writing.
I see.
But if you do absolute value, the location not absolute, then it's going to take the value that we put in the first parameter for the plot shape. Now, what we had before was this. Actually, I'll show it over here. This is actually important because people might wonder this, and obviously the AI didn't know. This is what we had before. What we had was this over here, where, no, not that one. We had this, where the plot shape, the first value was MACD new high or MACD new low, but this was a Boolean value. So it's just saying, should I show this triangle or not, or this dot or not? And then it was assuming it would be on the main chart. So when I was doing a location dot up below bar or above bar, it was using the values of the chart above or below those candles.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I changed the force overlay to false for those plots to appear in the pane underneath, it was using the value from the main chart. So that's why it was all skewed. So you end up in a situation where you're like this. Well, anyways, you end up in a situation where the value is incorrect. So I actually have to say, hey, if this value, the first one, is true, use the value of the MACD at the time of it being true. And then that way the dots will appear on the chart here where they need to, on the actual MACD. So what we're seeing here is that it is what we ask AI to plot is the first condition, which is if the MACD value is a new high, which is say, is the pivot of this MACD, the high for this MACD, higher than the previous one? Yes. Here it says, is this one higher than the previous one? Yes. Is that one higher than the previous one? Yes. Is this one higher than the previous one? Yes. That's what it's doing. And then every time there's a new low, it resets So this one is saying, is this one higher than that one? Yes. Is this one higher than that one? Yes. That's so and so on and so forth. And opposite for the other one. Is this one lower than this one? Is this one lower than that one? Is this one lower than that one? Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So we know that the first condition is true. I don't like how, anyways, we don't have time for that. We have to hurry up. So that's good. Just in case I change this, let me just copy the code. All right, start with the next condition. How can that be displayed? While this is running, we'll take a word from our sponsors.
Ask yourself this. Are you making trading harder than it needs to be? If you're trading manually or still coding just to connect to your broker, yeah, it's time to upgrade. TradersPost lets you automate trades using signals from tools like TradingView or TrendSpider or even your own custom setup. It works with brokers like TradeStation, Tradeovate, Coinbase, and a bunch more. I've been using it myself, and getting started was smooth. The platform's clean, setup's quick, and once it's running, it just works. And when you're ready to scale, adding more strategies, plugging into prop firm accounts, or juggling multiple portfolios, TradersPost handles it. It's built to grow with you. Start your free trial at TradersPost.io. Trade smarter, automate your edge.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave my wife for an AI system. Oh, we're back. So the next condition, number 2, for long setup, the signal line must be sloping upward. For a short setup, it must be sloping downward. Let's see what it decided to do. Okay, what it wants to do is shape markers on the MACD pane. Well, we showed how you can check one condition. I don't want to go through this whole thing because we're going to end up in a situation where we're going to run out of time. Let's just assume that the conditions are right. You can always step through it with at your own leisure in order to make it run better. But let's set a couple of things here. So we want to see our take profit and stop loss levels, and we want to set up our alerts for that. So I'm just going to go back to our previous message and just undo it. I love being able to go back in the conversation and be like, forget everything I just said. Just start as if I didn't say anything. Because if you just say that afterwards, it'd be like, okay, but then I remembered everything that you said. No. Go back to the message and edit it.
We need that for people.
Yeah, to see to move on to what's the next step? To the next steps for this script. Crack my fingers again. Try not to do it, Peter.
Oh, you can do it.
Do it. But I'm so used to telling the AI what I wanted to do, crack my knuckles, get myself a cup of coffee.
It's fine. You can do it. It's a very typical programmer thing to do.
Okay. All right.
I saw John cracking his neck when he was on office hours.
Did he?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty manly to like crack your neck. I wish I could do that.
I can't feel my left side now. All right, what is it doing next? It thought for 10 seconds. I've added hour markers for the second rule. Aqua triangle up on the MACD pane when signal. Wait, I don't want this. I don't want that at all. Added hour markers for signal line slope. No, I don't want that.
Shouldn't you reset what you said prior, or
just to make sure I move forward? I'm going to say explicitly. What I want is for, let me reject all for step. Did I undo everything? One second here. Let me just regenerate this. Restore checkpoint.
While he's regenerating that, I'll let you know that.
Well, I just want to show you there, because I made a mistake and I accepted or rejected a thing I shouldn't have. I went back to a previous conversation, clicked on restore checkpoint, And now my document is back to what it was before.
Nice.
Let's finish. Number 5. I mean, explicitly tell it.
That's
now,
a good
while
tip.
that
Sorry.
is happening, I just want to jump over to TradingView because we are going to, not TradingView, TradersPost. We're going to create a strategy for this.
Yay!
Anti-strategy. We're trading stocks. Let's save that. Connect that to TradersPost as my paper broker. I like to just rename it one more time. I'm going to allow auto submit so the trades happen automatically. Switch my sides to bullish and bearish so that I can allow long and short trades. And I'm going to, in my position size, I like to allow add to position just in case I want to add more in the direction that I'm in. I'm going to enable that, which is great because now I can have my webhook ready for where I want to send my signal to. All right, next step. Stop loss, take cross lines are now plotted. Let's see what that looks like. Do I actually see that here? Where is it? Okay, let's grab you, head over. Error, undeclared long stop loss. All right, let me tell the AI this. I take a snapshot. Can you see when I take a snapshot over here that the...
Nope.
Oh, you can't see.
On the right side? Hang on. If I put this down, give me a second.
Oh, no, don't worry. I can just move to the other side. Basically, I just take a screenshot, and then I'm going to head over. We have some errors, variables. Variables need to be defined first before being used.
After hours. Our aftermarket show happens every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then there's office hours, which takes place on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's where they go over any updates to new features, things that are coming up. Very interesting, very exciting to know about that stuff. Answering your questions. And they even answer questions live. So definitely a good thing to go and check out. Office hours on Tuesday. Full stack service here when it comes to YouTube. Is there another YouTube channel like this on the net for an automated trading platform that starts with the letter T and ends with the letter T? Don't think so.
Don't think so. I think we're top 3 for sure. All right. I just realized that oh, no, it's fine. It thinks a little bit differently than the other models. All right, let's see these changes.
Yeah, I don't like Gemini's personality. It's overly apologetic.
Oh my God, it apologizes all the time. Oh my goodness.
And it's like critical of itself. It's like dealing with somebody who, I don't know, grew up without a mother who loved them. I don't know.
It's just constantly, and then the more it does that, the more mistakes it makes. It's terrible. All right, so we have here long exit. Can we set wider stop loss, take profit? All right, I need to... I need to be able to set my own stop loss to take profit multiples. We're just going to go over time a little bit, folks. Even if we don't finish here, that's perfectly fine, because I said so. Because I just said so.
We could continue with part 2 next week.
We could always continue with part 2, exactly. So we'll actually just finish off this part where we get to control a little bit more about the stop loss and take profits. And then we'll actually continue part 2 next Thursday with some interesting upgrades since we'll have some time.
Upgrades. Tell me what movie that's from in the comments down below. You will win 10,000.
Did anyone get the first one?
Well, they'll have to put it at the comment of the video.
Oh, I see. Right.
I've learned that from watching other YouTube videos. They like ask a question and then ask you to put it down below. So
I just don't like when people ask questions that I know the answer to because I want to answer right away. And I know both answers like immediately. So I'll just tell you after the show. I'll tell you after the show.
I know you know them.
I know, but if I don't say them, I don't get the A+ or the gold star. I'm not sure you know how the world works. It's not enough that people know that you're right. You have to prove that you're right.
Sounds like you went through public schooling and took it seriously.
And church. How do I? No, can't say that.
Can't say that.
Can't say that.
We're not on our own channel here.
Model failed to call the tool with correct arguments. I don't like that. That means it cost me money for no reason. I don't like that. We got people on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Twitter, Peter. It's a AI vibe coding palooza. People are here for it. I can understand.
Hey, while we're waiting for this, why don't you maybe I'll explain what MACD is. Actually, you know what? You're a little bit better at it than me. MACD, Tom, you want to just let people
The
know?
MACD is an esoteric indicator that no one really understands. Some say that the MACD stands for the moving average convergence divergence, but no one knows for sure.
It's a mystery.
It was found in the relics of pyramids long ago and was used in order to plant wheat in the Nile Basin.
No.
It's a momentum indicator, Peter. Anyone who's a retail trader knows it's a momentum indicator, and no one wants me to sit here and explain what the MACD is.
I don't know.
For them.
I don't know.
No, I like the setup for the joke. It was fun.
Well, good.
All right, let's see what we do here. Okay.
I do know things. I just don't know these things.
More control over the, where are you? Stop loss multiple. Let's put you to 5. Let's put you to 10. All right. Well, I'm not seeing you guys over here. Okay. Well, we're over time for the moment. So what I'll do is that we'll leave this here for now. We're going to continue with part 2 next week. What you guys will see is we're going to be putting a little bit more advanced entry and exit methods. Since we could have time, I really want to do that. We haven't done that for a little while. I want you guys to see trailing stops, maybe multiple take profits. We'll see what kind of interesting things we can set up that way. And then we want to have it out of the box, already prepared to be connected with TradersPost, right? So that we know we have to send messages from the strategy to TradersPost, and we'll be able to set up a simple method, but I want to go even further to show how we have different options that we can have within TradersPost. Then when it's connected, we'll see the back testing that you can do on TradingView, as well as running signals, live signals that are going to be sent from TradingView to TradersPost. The whole thing will be fun. You're not going to want to miss part 2. You'll also find out the answer to the quotes that Peter provided to find out what movie, TV show, song, or book they are from, or video game. I should have said or video game, but they're not video games. It's like one of the other 4. All right, Peter, anything else before we leave?
That's it for me. If you have any suggestions for blueprint episodes that you'd like to see, maybe some YouTube channels that you follow, you see a video, you want to create that indicator, send it to Tom, send it to us, and we'll consider it. We're on X. That's TradersPost on X, TradersPost Inc. And always looking for your feedback, always looking for your interactions. The more you interact, the more you participate, the more the show becomes tailored to what you like and what you care about. So do you want to be a master of your own destiny and creator of your own experience? Interact with us, like and subscribe.
Fair enough. I would do this every day if people praised me. I don't know if I made that clear. If you praise me, you say you like it, exclamation points and all kinds of things, I'm going to come on here more often. I was just talking to Mike the other day that I should be doing streams on the weekends. I would be do multiple hour streams. If you guys like this, you got to say it. If you don't, then suffer quietly. Suffer quietly. What do we need? All right, that's it. Thank you, folks. Thank you for watching Traders Post. We're the best automated trading platform in the known universe and getting better every day. Bye.